to my first ever week in the life as a full-time author. And you're probably wondering, Jenna, how are you a full-time author when your books have like 2 reviews on Amazon? The answer is that I am 24 weeks pregnant and was laid off from my job. So no one else is going to hire me when I am this far along. And I was already hoping to use my maternity leave kind of just as a jumping off point to really getting my author life dreams accomplished. And now this gives me just a little bit more time to do that before baby boy arrives in July. That's kind of my situation right now, is that I'm unemployed, no one's gonna hire me, and so I have to basically employ myself by doing my author life dreams. What is it gonna entail for vlogs moving forward? Well, now I'm not bogged down by doing social media as a day job, and I can only do it for myself, which is very, very freeing and also kind of a little bit terrifying. But I'm hoping to make these weekly vlogs and have you guys come around with me as I focus on my main mission, which is becoming a full-time author and a hopefully great mom to my little boy. And also simultaneously, there are going to be some side quests along the way, and I'll be taking you with me in my life in Canada now. For those who haven't been following along so far, I moved to the Okanagan from California July of last year. Funny enough, my baby's actually due on the same day we officially crossed over into Canada. So it's kind of a wild full circle moment. What is the mission for this week, and what is a side quest for this week that we can expect? First, primary mission right now is just to get back into the flow of being a regular writer, because being pregnant and pregnancy exhaustion, no one warns you about, oh my god. But I have been so tired and really put writing, social media, YouTube, etc. on the sideline just to make time to be able to do my full-time job, which was slowly killing me and draining all of my creativity and my passions. But it was a stable income that I was grateful for at the time, and now we are moving beyond that, and beyond that includes having less money, needing to do more things DIY rather than outsourcing them. But also, we have more time now to do fun things, and fun things include having a regular writing schedule. Regular writing schedule is something that I have now tried to cook up using the HB90 method, although, spoiler, it is Monday, March 23rd, and I've already fallen off of the schedule I set for myself because, again, pregnancy exhaustion, I slept in, and I slept most of Sunday, to be honest, so I am already starting off a little bit behind. So we need to catch up, we need to establish a regular writing routine, as well as a regular YouTube, social media, etc. routine. So we're kind of trying to rebuild all of that stuff that I started in my 185 insane day challenge, which if you haven't seen everything about that, make sure to go to click the video about that. That was basically my plan to set up routines for myself so that I could be a successful full-time writer. And in doing so, change my life completely, which granted, my life completely got changed by that challenge, but one thing that kind of fell to the sidelines in that challenge as I was trying to improve my entire life was actually improving my entire author life as well. I am wanting to improve my regular writing routine as well as my social media and my YouTube routines. That way I can be present online, people can know that my books exist, and people can go and buy them. And hopefully fall in love with the characters and everything that I have created so far. So that is the primary mission this week. And if I fail at it, it'll be the primary mission for next week too. But no, the goal is that this first week we're trying to get our routine back in place, we're trying to get a good schedule going so that we can be a successful full-time author by acting like we already are a successful full-time author and not just unemployed. But again, I am pregnant and do have life things, so I want to take you around for side quests around where I live in the Okanagan. One side quest this week is getting my car back, hopefully, from the mechanic this week. Please let it be so. We were supposed to get it back on Sunday, but some parts just took too long to arrive, so I'm hoping tomorrow, Tuesday, will be the day that we finally have our car back, which I'm so excited for. You have no idea. Another side quest, we will see if it actually happens this week, but I was told I should have my ultrasound getting scheduled, and so if it does get scheduled and is for this week, my first actual doctor's ultrasound should be here. Because before I've only gotten really like boutiques so far, I've not gotten like an actual doctor's ultrasound, and so I'm excited / terrified for that because like what if something's wrong, but like everyone so far has said everything's fine. So yeah, I'll be sharing the you know, updated baby ultrasound because I haven't had one done in a little bit. Primary mission, get back on a good writing routine. Side quest, doctor's appointments and getting the car from the mechanic if possible. And the sooner we have the car, the sooner we can have really fun, cool adventures, especially because it's the Okanagan. It is basically like vacation central for Canada, and it has some of the best weather in all of Canada. So now that all the summer activities are starting to, you know, pop back up, it's starting to be spring, it's starting to get a little bit warmer, I want to be able to go outside and really enjoy the town we moved to, because I didn't really have a car or transportation too much during the summer of last year, and we also missed most of the summer because we were just moving here. But I really want to be able to actually take you guys around to show you how much I love this area and everything I love about it. So that will be side quest going forward as soon as I actually have that car returned to me. But today's focus, kind of read back over the novel I was working on. It is the second novel in To Capture a Viking's Heart series. The first one, which is with my editor right now. It is a spin-off of my debut novel, Between the Shadows of the Dawn, book 1 of the Divided God saga. And it basically is talking about all the different Viking clan members and how they found love 3 years before the start of the main book. And this is the second book in that series, which they're all kind of standalone, read at your own pace, read in your own order, and they do have crossover with each other. But this is the second one, and I kind of forgot everything that I had already written for the project, so I need to go back in and definitely reread the first 7 chapters that I wrote and figure out how to get back into the mindset of that world and those characters so that I can keep writing it. Because I was just in the world of the first book, finishing up the edits to send to my editor, and now, because I haven't worked on the main book in a couple months, I've completely lost track of everything. So we're gonna try and fix that, read over things today, and then hopefully start working on maybe some social media stuff so I can be a regular, presence on things like YouTube, Patreon, my newsletter, Instagram, etc. Because the only place I've managed to keep up with has been Threads, so follow me over on Threads if you haven't already. We need to get into all of these things. We need to figure out what is happening with the story. We were in the middle of writing when we got knocked up and we're too sick to function for like a while. But yeah, let's jump into that, and then from there we will move forward in trying to figure out this whole author life career of ours, one step at a time. Okay guys, full transparency. It has been kind of hard to vlog. It is now the 24th, I believe. I think I started this on the 23rd. Yes, Phantom, you want to join in? Hi. Yeah, it's been a little hard to vlog because I was attempting to write and then I realized I forgot exactly where I left off or what was happening, everything. Like, I have an outline on this project which is called Shield Maiden Whip for now. The full name will come out at a later time. There's no thoughts in these eyes. But yes, I was writing it not that long ago, and yes, I have an outline, but like, since really working on the project at all, I found out I was pregnant, I got laid off, I moved into this unit instead of the other unit. There's been a lot of things happening, and it has been a couple months since I've really dove into it fully. So I've decided to go back, read what I have, and in doing so, edit a little bit just to make things easier later. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, but it's really hard to vlog when you're not actively typing, because in which case you just look like this all day long, bleh. It's a little bit hard to do that whole vlogging thing. I also did not get much done today, or yesterday, but today is a much more productive day, and we're stopping right now around noon for lunch break. Paperwork stuff, we got a delivery going from Walmart for some groceries and like admin things done. But now it is time for some shrimp fried rice. She wants it, that I ordered yesterday for the sole purpose of having lunch today. Because I don't even have napkins right now, so like cooking, nearly impossible. Like I got HelloFresh yesterday and I couldn't cook it because I didn't have napkins, and I went to the convenience store and they did not have napkins. They had everything else under the sun except for that. So I was like, no. But I will be figuring that out. Yes, we had to order delivery today because we still don't have our car. Parts did not get here until this morning. They were supposed to be here on Friday. So we're still without a vehicle. We're still trucking along, and I'm gonna heat some of this food up and try to function as a human being, I think. Try to attempt. I'll have to stop for the delivery when it gets here from Walmart. It could come anytime from 1 to 3 p.m. today. I'm gonna try and finish up maybe one more chapter, and then hopefully I'll have a smoother time actually writing the book once I'm done editing the first 7 chapters that I had written prior. Back in like September, October was when I was working on it last, really, in any real capacity. And then from there, I'm hoping to finish this one, send it off to Devin, and then, which is my critique partner, beta reader extraordinaire, bestie, that we've known each other for years and everything. So we're gonna swap some stuff once I have this book done. So I need to give her something so I can get something. But when she has it, I'm also going to go back to book 2 of Between the Shadows of the Dawn, the sequel to that book, and I'm gonna be working on that again. Although that does mean I do have to reread where I left off on that, because I haven't touched that one since before moving to Canada. So it's been going on like 9 months since I touched that book, and I have no idea where I left off. My eyes literally twitching. Stressed a little bit right now. I need to calm down. Get this show on the road. But yeah, it's a little bit hard just being like this and figuring it out, how to make that entertaining. So I'll be back and we'll do some more actual B-roll once I get to actually writing. Okay guys, it's Thursday, March 26th. I was literally going to open this up by saying I was not very productive yesterday. That's a lie. It was just side quest time, which was getting our car back. Oh my god, I am so excited to finally have our car that is not a tiny work smart car that I couldn't take anywhere or take the dog anywhere or take my sibling anywhere. I just literally, like, my stomach was hitting the steering wheel, so it was very uncomfortable. And also I had to be one driving everywhere because it was my work car, so my husband hasn't driven in months. And so we finally have our car back, which, if you didn't see the whole story time about that, we hit a deer on our second day in Canada. And surprisingly enough, given the fact that we hit a gigantic buck, we have a tiny Yaris and it's been sitting for 9 months. Car's good, knock on wood. it's solid. And I'm very, very happy. We only had, like, didn't have a car for a week, so I'm glad that we have that resolved. But we gave it like a little spa day when we got back home. Then we had to go to the store to go get some stuff we didn't have for cleaning it, so we gave her a nice bath, vacuum, just got her all nice and everything. She hasn't been cleaned in like 10 months, and she's been sitting either at a storage yard or first at the impound lot when it got towed. So it was at the tow yard, not impound, but the tow yard. And then it was at a storage unit we paid for. And then when my husband started working with our apartment complex, they were like, hey, it's chill, just bring the car here. So we brought it here, even though it was dinged up. We just put a cover over it. And then we finally got it to the mechanic. The mechanics had it for I think over a month, but we had to order a lot of parts, and because we have a Yaris IA, like, it's not made in Canada, so we had to import all of the parts and order all of them from the States. So it took a little bit, but in total it ended up being, outside of the parts that we already had bought, it was still like $2,000 for everything, but that was the cheapest quote we had like ever gotten. Everyone else was saying that they were going to charge upwards of like $10,000, and we just obviously didn't have that. We barely just managed to scrape by with a credit card and put stuff on that to be able to pay the little invoice I have right here. So thankfully we have the car now. So yesterday I wasn't very productive with book stuff. I didn't do any writing. I already broke my chain. I'm trying to do like a don't break the chain, write every day kind of thing that I used to have going. But I'm also very much like when I start doing a project, I don't want to stop. I want to just complete the project. And I was hoping I would be focusing on writing, but because I wanted to start doing social media in the second half of my day and writing in the morning, what I found myself in instead is falling into the rabbit hole of content polls for book 1 of my series Between the Shadows of the Dawn. I started going through and just doing content polls, but I have been finding some mistakes and some things that I will need to fix. And I've known a couple of the errors were already there. Every book has a couple, mistakes that slip through past editors and stuff, but this is just getting to the point where it's more than I'm comfortable with. So I need to go in and also fix these things. So I have a running note now of the mistakes that I found. So I'm kind of just rereading the book and then also doing content polls at the same time. And now I also am like, this is more mistakes than I anticipated. And I think if I fix them in the files, it will also mess up the formatting at this point, because it's not just like a letter here and there. Some of them are like full words that are not there in some sentences. The book is so big that like really it's everyone I've talked to who's noticed any sort of tiny mistake is like, it's so easy to brush off, or like I didn't even notice. But to me, as like a Virgo and as the author, I notice. And so I really wanted to get it fixed. But I think that means I'll have to completely reformat the book. So I am also hovering over the tab for Atticus to see if maybe I can start formatting my own books. And then that would mean I would cancel the formatting I had just booked with my editor who did my formatting on book 1, and I want all of the books to match. So I might just pull the plug on doing formatting with my editor and just do the proofread. But I haven't committed to it yet. I really want to see how many mistakes that I do spot as I'm going through reading the book. So I am on page 367 of 554 in the ebook, which is different than the paperback. So I'm on chapter 15. And I have about 58 content pulls so far. So the way that I'm organizing these is I'm on Canva. I'm using the Kindle app on my computer. And then I'm finding the lines that I know could be good for like sharing on social media and stuff, and I am highlighting different lines in pink, blue, different colors, screenshotting them, and then copy and pasting them into Canva, and then I'm numbering, I'm naming each page in this, sort of what I would have as the sort of hook, maybe, or sometimes, like, if I come up with a hook, I'll put it in the title, or if it's just to remind myself what scene it is, I'll be like, this is the scene where the spirit is doing this, or this is the scene where she asked them this question, something like that. So I'm going through it in a decent pace. I've been doing it for, like, I did it for half of yesterday, I've done it for basically the entirety of today, but I have been vegging out on social media for a little bit. I will admit, around noon, whenever I start getting hungry for like lunch, I find it very hard to tap back into work. And so I've taken lunch a little bit ago and I haven't touched this since. I ended up scrolling on Threads. I'm having a real hard trouble just this week, like refocusing afternoon. I'm getting really tired. I think the baby is having a growth spurt and it's impacting me. I'm also getting like a little bit nauseous again. I'm getting the food ick again, which were very much like first trimester issues that I had. So yeah, I'm trying to like figure that out because I really wanted to be feeling like I've been feeling good, and then like literally the second basically I'm not working anymore. I had a really good weekend, really productive Thursday and Friday last week. Thursday was my last day at work, and as soon as I turned in all my stuff, I was doing productive stuff. And then just like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Thursday, I have been struggling with being this productive person that I want to be. And so I'm trying to push through it. It's about gonna be too soon. My husband gets off at 4, and then we have to go do some more stuff. We need to go to Canadian Tire and pick up some things, like some dogs and food and things like that. So I won't have time to do things once once my husband gets home. So I'm trying to like finish these content pulls so that I can focus back onto writing. But I'm also like, I don't know, I'm such like a completer. Like once I pull the content pulls, I want to make the content. If I'm doing the vlog, I just want to be vlogging. If I'm doing YouTube, I just want to be YouTubing. And what I did with this Sarah Cannon's HB90 course, and what she always like recommends, you know, is you have like, you know, your time blocks. This is your schedule Monday through Sunday through Saturday, and then you block off time. So I've made this morning section all my writing time, but now it's just becoming all of content full time. And then I put in and built in a kind of buffer zone for lunch and taking the dog outside and like recentering my brain. But I'm just finding it hard to do this second half of the day, and because I'm not finishing the social media or just only putting the social media in the second half of my day, it's then eating up into the writing time. And then I get so tired by the second half of the day because of baby that I am struggling to like switch gears. It might improve as a little man stops his growth spurt, but we'll see, because I don't know. It's just every week is a different experience with this baby. It's just some weeks I'm super productive, I have a lot of energy, and then this week is not one of those weeks. And unfortunately, it's the week where it's like I'm finally doing full-time author stuff, and it's just not working the way that I had hoped. But yeah, I'm still doing content pulls. We have in next vloggy vlog, I finally have an ultrasound with an actual doctor. Gasp. So we're gonna really see how big little man has gotten. And he's been beating me up this week a lot too, I think, as a result of him growing. And I've also been just way hungrier, and now I'm nauseous. So like I'm just on a roller coaster of life, as per usual. So content pulls, finding the mistakes that are in the book still that I need to just fix. And I also have this entire book that my friend Kayla, this is her copy actually, I sent it for her the other day. Dropping stuff. And she very much enjoyed this. She made a very nice review. And I was actually going to read this copy and find the mistakes again, but I'm actually just doing it digitally, so I'm gonna take out my bookmark and my little sticky notes that I was gonna do it with. And I'll take off my little reading light too. Save those for different books. But these are all the mistakes she caught. She asked me when she was halfway done with the book already, when she was in part 2 of the book, if she wanted me to just have her tag the mistakes she saw, and she did. And this is how many mistakes she tagged. So I also have all of these to fix. I'm about in a similar spot, and I am seeing the same mistakes she pointed out, one of them just being that a character's name is just wrong. Full transparency, it's just wrong, and I know it wasn't me that did it. I'm just gonna throw that out there as kindly as possible. Why? Because I literally copy and paste this character's name whenever I need to use it because my dyslexia was acting up with the name. So these were not changed by me. But I need to go through and fix all of these. I need to go through and fix a couple other things that I've seen. Just things like that. So I'm going to be working on that. I'm writing down all of the things I need to change. I'm pulling content, quotes and things, and then I'll actually be able to have like quotes and things to use that are gonna be well organized so that I can go and actually like use them, you know, to advertise the books. People will actually get it, especially since I'm pouring more time into fixing the next edition of it. And these will be the versions that I print as well to take to local bookstores and stuff as well. But it also might be the one formatted with Atticus. So if you want the version of the book with vellum formatting instead and to be able to say you got the first edition, then you can go to Amazon and purchase it. And the next edition will be going wide. And there's going to be a couple of things that I fix on it, just like the math. I think in the beginning I want to have like a little bit more contrast to it in some areas. It also just like, you can't see things that are in the middle right here all too much, but they're not like important for book one anyways. But other than that, like I love the formatting that my editor and the formatter L did on these, and I love the little art in the chapter headers and things. It's just seriously a matter of just stupid tiny grammatical things that are bugging me. And I obviously want to give my best foot forward when it comes to people. Like if I'm advertising the book, I want to have the best version of the book out beforehand. And also when I take it to these bookstores, it'll be out of my hands. I can't edit a physical book once it's already printed. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. And it's just taking longer than I thought, but it is like revitalizing my inspiration for the story, which is good too. I'm gonna get back to that and make myself do it for like another 2 hours.
We stand by the fire, your tiny hand in mine. You're 5 feet off the ground. You rest on my shoulder. The stars convey the light, so fragile in the night. In this moment, forever be, forever be. In this moment, forever be, forever be.
Okay guys, it is Friday the 27th, and full transparency, I really did not start feeling very good second half of yesterday. So I did not get too much done. I also found out from my doctor that I'm low on iron, so that's probably an explanation for why I didn't feel all too good yesterday. So I need to get some iron supplements and things like that. But today has been definitely more of a leisure day, I would say, which was not the plan, but I ended up having a post that I had scheduled for today go out on Threads all about like my culture shocks as someone who's from the States moving to Canada, and it like really blew up, and just everyone's been so kind and just so funny, and a lot of recommendations and just different things like that. So I honestly spent like most of my day just talking to people on Threads in the comments. And then I also had a post that was approved from a local like mom supporting moms group, because I was looking for a couple baby items that I know are going to be expensive, and I don't think anyone's going to get off of my registry just because they are a little bit more expensive or harder to find items. There's just great mom groups, people giving away things for free or trading and things. So I have someone who's coming today who offered to drop some things off that would be really nice for baby boy. And then I have this weekend and next Wednesday I'm picking up a couple items that I've been struggling and worrying about not being able to afford until he arrives. So yeah, I've been communicating with just the nicest people on Facebook for that, and then also simultaneously with a bunch of really nice, kind, and funny people on Threads as well. So it's been kind of just like a hangout and chill kind of day. Just really reminding me like why I like community and why I like community online especially, and also in person in my own town. And it's definitely made me remember like why I love social media and doing social media, because when you do it for a day job, it kind of ruins things. And my love for platforms and marketing and things like that. And I think today just really reminded me like why I got into the field in the first place. And yeah, it's just been like a nice reminder. I wish, of course, it was about my books, the post that blew up, or about writing in general. But at the same time, like, I live in Canada now. I'm never moving back to the United States. This is also my community. So it's just been a nice little reminder of why I like these things. So from that rest and from the nap that I just really took in the middle of the day yesterday and then didn't do anything productive afterwards, I'm definitely feeling much more rejuvenated. I am feeling a lot more just like centered, I think. Like, I still woke up at a decent time, but like I just lounged in bed and just talked to people. And then like I just ran into a bunch of people I know who live in our building that I'm becoming friends with and stuff, and Katara was saying hi to them and stuff as I took her on her little walk. So I've been mostly just communicating with people and getting to know people, and it's been just really, really nice, I would say. And it's been not so hustle, grind, get everything done. And that's really refreshing for me as someone who grew up in like the, you know, or has basically worked always in the corporate American grind, hustle culture kind of thing. So yeah, I'm just kind of remembering like why I do what I do, and that social media doesn't have to be bad all the time. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna keep going back, or that's what I was doing earlier. Now I'm going to return to my content polls. I currently have 64 content polls, and I am on page 486 of the book. I found quite a few more mistakes that I'm going to be fixing, including I think like 2 just continuity related things that I want to fix, because I did change some things for world building and I didn't realize I kept them in the first book. So just some small lines that no one will matter except, like, no one's gonna notice except for me. And then hopefully today will be my last day doing the content polls, and I'll be able to actually start making social media posts and have marketing not be this big daunting gross thing, and social media be this thing I only do for a day job to make a paycheck, and it'll be more of a community-centered thing where I get to connect with people and I get to meet people and people get to find my books, because that's what it's all supposed to be about, and it just hasn't been for me for such a long time because of the field that I worked in, but now it gets to be entirely for me. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna dive back in and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. I think I'll take you through some of my side quests this weekend, getting some items from my lovely local group of people who are offering up some stuff for free and for trade. And then Sunday I've got a doctor's appointment, and then we will see if we have made decent enough progress to call this a vlog, or if we need to make this more days vlog to really get some productivity in, you know what I mean? But I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Time rushes on, oh, it won't be long, fading now into a memory, a picture on the wall, a moment frozen not to fall. In this moment, forever be, forever be. Forever be, forever be. In this moment, forever be, forever be.
Okay, it is March 30th, and honestly, this is supposed to be a writing vlog, and I haven't done any writing. What have I done? Well, sum up mostly my side quests. I did get my car back. We did give her like a little makeover spa day kind of thing. I did go and take my doggo and dog out for a couple like rides around in the car and stuff, just because they haven't been in a car in like so long. They were so excited to stick their head out the window, like a little bit. We don't like let them fully stick their head out the window when they're driving, but like their snouts at the little crack, and like, which is like basic grocery shopping. And then I had put into one of the local groups around here that like, hey, I recently got laid off. If anyone has some of the things that are on our registry, please let us know that like you're willing to trade for, like for free, or like something. You know, I don't have much to trade in terms of like other baby stuff. Luckily, our community really pulled through, and some people here are just amazing. I love this group so much. This is where we've gotten most of the baby clothes that we have and everything like that. Now we also got a crib mattress, which is basically like brand new. And then we also got a bunch of sheets, sleep sack, this cutest little bassinet, pregnancy pillow, a breastfeeding pillow, a baby swing, like all of these things. And I have a couple more people who are actually going to be dropping some stuff off. I had one person drop some stuff off already, the bottles, and then some like pacifiers, and I think some other women are bringing over some of those smaller items that we're still in need of as well, like more bottles. Very, very grateful to have these things, especially because when I went to my doctor on Sunday, as another one of my little side quest things, my baby kicked the absolute fuck out of the Doppler in her hand, and she was like, that's not feeling like a 25-week kick. That's not feeling like a 25-week kick, and I'm supposed to be 25 weeks, like barely. And I'm like, yeah, I've been suggesting to people that I'm probably farther along than what my initial estimates were, because I was going to boutique before. I didn't have my health insurance activated, so I had to pay everything out of pocket, so I went to boutique because it was the cheapest way to do things. And now that I've had my health insurance, I'm having to catch up on basically all my first and most of my second trimester appointments. So I haven't actually had like a proper hospital dating ultrasound. I have that on Wednesday, and they might just tell me that we're further along than we think we are by a little bit. So we'll see. Because I was like, yeah, I felt him earlier than I probably should have. I've had my symptoms earlier than other people. I've been routinely measured like, at least 1-2-ish weeks ahead on a regular basis, which usually isn't too much, but even if it's like a week off, like that does change like estimated baby's due date and things like that. So we set it for that on Wednesday, but that also meant like, hey, I gotta get some stuff. I still need like desperately a stroller and like a baby carrier as two of my next main things, but the stroller I think I'm gonna be rather picky on, to be honest, just because we have a gorgeous forest not too far from us, and we love to take strolls over there, and it is kind of a rocky path, so we need a stroller that can kind of like handle that for when the baby's put in that. We're gonna figure that part out. But when it comes to writing stuff, I honestly mostly was very active on Threads. It's like an unexpected side quest. I jumped massively in followers. Thread I made about differences in Canada and where I live, California, and now I'm like, all these people though follow me for like Canada content, not for like my book content. So I'm like, this is it's an interesting bag of people to get a bunch of followers on there and everything. It just kind of proves like if I'm consistent on a platform, I do see it grow. So I just need to like up that consistency. And now again that I don't have a job, I have no real excuse other than the fact that like I'm gonna be very low on money after I pay rent, because my unemployment could take like a whole month to get here. I have no idea how it will take, but it could take up to 28 days. I'm a little bit like, fuck. But other than that though, I've just been chilling. I slept in today, as I do most Mondays now that I'm not working, just because like, when else are you able to do that in life, really? So I did a little side quest with doctor's appointment and getting some more baby stuff. And then book-wise, I mostly did my content polls. I did finish that though, and we have quite a few content polls that I need to now start dropping correctly. I just took screenshots of them for now, and then I needed to like organize them a little bit better and then actually start making content out of them. I did do one post today that was just a graphic, just to have something to put out on Threads and Instagram, because I've been inactive on IG at least. But in total, we have 76 quote polls. That would be why it took a while. I also found like 10 different errors in the book, 2 of which were just like continuity errors for future books that are like my mistakes. I changed things and then didn't realize I didn't change it in the final version, or that I even like mentioned some of these things that I need to just change. They're not even things that other people are gonna notice, to be honest, but they're gonna blame me if I don't fix them. So in the next edition of the book, I'll be changing those couple of just very small grammar things. It's literally like it's missing a word here or color there, or it's like a comma I don't like. Like it's very, very small that most people haven't really noticed. There's been like a couple of my friends who've been like, oh yeah, with content polls, if you guys don't know what that is, or quote polls, it's basically where you go through, you highlight different word sections that like you really want to show off to people. In the Kindle app, I have it on my desktop, and then you screenshot it. And for me, I'm going to organize them all in Canva and then use those for content, put on like trial reels on Instagram, probably some on TikTok, which I need to get back into as well, and probably YouTube Shorts. So you guys will see more snippets from the book go forward. But there's 76 different parts of the book that I can share that aren't that spoilery, that good lines, good interaction, things I can use with really cool hooks, different things like that. So I've got those organized on a Canva sheet, and then once I have perfected the screenshot, like have it the correct size, cropped it the right way to get rid of anything, I then can go download them, pull them into a different Canva file, and then start creating them into like different reels or graphic posts, different things like that. So that's what I mostly was doing last week, just because it's something I've put off for a long time, because it does take a lot of effort. People literally get paid to do content polls because it is pretty tedious to go through and know what is like a good poll, what is not, what kind of things can you do a hook with. And obviously I'll kind of like cycle through these, and whichever ones really pop off, I will then start doubling down on those ones. And some of these I might not like ever share, or they might be like for specific times. Share your one horse scene. That's the one I shared today, you know, like random things like that. But at the very least, I'll already have them. I don't have to go searching for them. They're organized, and each page on Canva is titled with hook or the general scene, so I can find it a little bit easier. And then from there, I can kind of go through and do my thing with them, and then actually sharing about the book. So hopefully those shares about contents of the book will turn into sales of the book, so that hopefully I get some sort of money off of my hard work and effort. And you know, that's like the main part of being a full-time author is like making money off of the book that you poured your heart and your soul into. So that is the hope with these content polls, and why I kind of just started prioritizing it first, other than the fact that I am definitely stuck on my next whip, which is the Shield Maiden whip. I realized that if I'm this stuck on this specific whip, it probably means that I'm taking it in the wrong direction, at the very least the specific part that I'm in, the specific chapter. And I just don't feel like this chapter has a point, because I had the book outlined one way. I wanted to add a scene that would be important to a different book in the same standalone series, and then I realized that I didn't really want to have that either book anymore, and I changed my mind after letting the book sit and the idea marinate. And so now I wish I had the old outline for what it was supposed to be, because I don't remember anymore. It's been a couple months since I've really fully dived into any book, just between pregnancy and work and things like that. So I'm kind of stuck on it. I don't know if it's just stuck on writing in general. So I kind of want to try writing something else. Dangerous, I know, but just to see if something else comes here, because if it does, then definitely make this one scene that I'm stuck on that I need to change. But I'm pretty sure it is. So I also don't want to like get into a different project and then abandon the Shielding Whip, especially because everybody who has read so far the Berserker Runaway Bride, but everyone who's read that book is really excited for the other character's book, which is the character Thora. She also shows up in Between the Shadows of the Dawn, my debut. And so everyone's really excited for her book. So it also is like, I want to do it well, and I want people to, you know, if they do read in order, it needs to carry them through to the rest of the series. So there's like, each book has a little bit of a pressure on, and people really like this character. So I'm like kind of stuck, feeling like I'm not doing it right. But I also don't want to start writing these out of order, because I've done a really good job with writing them in its intended order and still making them stand alone on their own, and you can read them in any order you like. But I don't want to lose out on that ability to write them in order and have them compound in secret elements, you know what I mean, by starting to write them out of order. And I don't want to necessarily go back to the main series of the Divided Gods and work on book 2 quite yet, because I know I will have to reread everything I have of that one, and that's like at least 80k, and then I'll be fully devoted to that book and not to the Shielding Whip, which I'm already almost done with. Like I'm like halfway through, I just need to finish it. So I'm kind of I'm in a rough spot. But the whole point of this vlog, the main mission other than the side quest I was on, was trying to get myself back into a good writing routine and making it so that I could kind of have that full-time author life. And I did the whole Sarah Cannon course thing, you know, the HB90 course, to be able to go and have that writing routine and stuff, and I just have not adhered to it. And I know I need to give myself some grace, because like pregnancy takes so much energy out of you and your bandwidth and your brainwidth and everything. But at the same time, work is not stealing that from me anymore. So I could put that brain power and that energy into writing, and I just have done everything else but that because there's so much to catch up on, so many doctor's appointments, you know, like it's tax season, I had to do unemployment, like all of those different paperwork things that just like drain my energy. But really at this point, no excuse, I need to get back to writing. So we're gonna really try today and tomorrow before the end of March to really get started with this and to really try and get some serious words down, figure out what the problem with the children with, and then hopefully actually get some writing done in this writing vlog. And then from there, hopefully we can have that routine settled for the next vlog and we can have a different mission, because I hate carrying over missions into multiple videos where I just feel like a failure. So that's the hope. Let's try to dive into it today. Sorry, the lighting is atrocious. Atrocious? Wow, can I not say that word now? Apparently not. But I wrote about 400 words, a little bit underneath that, and I did finish chapter 7. I started on chapter 8, which is from the male main character Ari's POV in the Shield Maiden Whip, and his POV is just always easier to me than Thora's, I think, so I just wrapped up Thora's like in 2 sentences and moved over to this one just because I was so stuck on hers. I'm now realizing the problem that I had, which is basically that when I outlined this, I forgot one evening, but everyone's stories takes place across like the same 7 to 10 days. And so I can't just easily move around scenes or move around things that happen on certain days. They all kind of have to happen the way that I outlined them. The problem is that Ari's chapter right now is supposed to be on day 3, and it is really where the plot quickens up. But Thora's chapter in chapter 7 was day 2. And so there's an entire like midday through to the evening that stuff should happen in her story that is not, and I don't want to have to add another chapter. This thing is already 15 chapters. It's the same as like everybody else's story, and I'm trying to keep it the same length. But I also think the middle of this book could use a little bit more smut, just because it is supposed to be spicy short story, so like that would be a time where there could be more. But I am kind of stuck on like, do I then extend? I think I would have to, the only choice I think I would have would be to extend Thora's chapter 7 that I just wrapped up with an evening with them together. But the one I had in my head for this scene was the one that I initially had added, which does fix this whole timeline error issue that I'm having. But at the same time, it was going to be very plot heavy, and I just don't want to add too many words, but just having smut just for the sake of smut, it just doesn't feel right either. Like I need to have a good balance, and I don't want to add too many words. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I just like leave it for now. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but this is what I've been stuck on, is do I just add what I was initially going to have and chapter 7 is just a beast of a chapter, or and also will impact someone else's story, and I haven't outlined that story yet, so I don't know whether or not I really want to have that where I have it, and if I want it, or if it's gonna force it too much. I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah, I'm a little bit stuck because chapter 8 has to be day 3, but chapter 7 is day 2, so like there's got to be something at the end of Thora's chapter for midday through the evening of something. Like it's okay if there's a time jump, I don't have to have midday, but something in the evening when specifically, as well, I'm realizing there's a plot hole too, specifically as well, Thora's whole thing is that she's trying to tell her fellow Vikings that she's been in love with Ari for the past like decade, and she's been hiding it because Ari's an elf and humans and elves don't get along. And so she finally tells Ari that she's going to tell them. And so this would be the time that she should, because she just like made it so that they'll stay there longer. She, you know, like this is the time that she should tell somebody. So I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think the only choice that I have is they have to tell somebody in chapter 7. Like she has to tell somebody, and I have to figure out who she would tell. She's a very closed off character though, especially when it comes to her love life like this. So I'm trying to, I think that's the only scene I could possibly have in there that would maybe be shorter, is she has to tell somebody to make it so that Ari isn't like super upset by her saying, yeah, I'm gonna tell them all tonight, and then like she doesn't tell them. So day 3, I think she has to tell somebody to just like smooth things over with him and just start opening up a little bit, because otherwise it's like she just straight up lied to him. So I think I need to re-outline that a bit. I need to do some brainstorming. I think this is why I've been stuck. But at the very least, I did get 400 words of Ari's chapter-ish. It's like 380, something like that. So that should make it easier for me to jump back into the story starting in chapter 8, because I'm not so stuck with Thora's POV. But I do have to go back and add stuff to Thora's POV of her telling somebody, which obviously whoever she tells, because every other character is also a POV character in their own book, will potentially have the potential to impact their story depending on who it is. If it's somebody like that, they don't care either way. If it's an elf or not, they're not with an elf, then like they don't have anything to say. If it's somebody who is with an elf, then, or if they like hate magic or something like that, then they're gonna have more things to say that would impact their story. But I need to figure out which character it would mean the least to in their story, so I don't have to like rewrite the same scene again. I already had to include a scene in chapter 7 that was from Care, the guy in the first book's POV. I basically had to like copy and change it just slightly enough to fit into Thora's POV, but both scenes are the same scene, but they're both important to both characters because they're both determining different things, and you just don't get each other's inner monologue between Thora and Care. But I don't want to pull that too many times, so I like when there's like a thread you can follow between stories, but I don't want to go too heavy-handed with it. So I need to brainstorm who that is, and then I think I can finally write properly again, yay! But then I have to go back to chapter 7 and add a couple more paragraphs, at least like a full scene of her telling somebody, and then her letting Ari know that somebody does know and she's still like working on it, and then that will cause his chapter to happen, where he is kind of sick and tired of her excuses of telling people, so he actually goes and travels into the human land to try and figure out what she's so scared of and afraid of, and that causes rifts between them and stuff. So that's why his is really plot-centric, and why his needs to happen on day 3. Been stuck on this day 2 evening because I forgot things were important. So I'm gonna figure and brainstorm all of that out, and then I think I can start actually writing, although it is already later in the day. Steven's gonna be home from work soon, so like I don't think I'm gonna get much done, but at the very least if I can figure out what the scene is and kind of like figure out the basics, then tomorrow I can really start actually going in and writing this. And my goal tomorrow I think would be finishing chapter 7 properly with that missing scene, and then maybe diving more into chapter 8. And if I can get on a regular schedule tomorrow morning of writing and getting a decent amount done earlier, then I can also spend later in the day focusing on things like social media, YouTube, etc. Because right now I'm just bouncing around doing too many things and without that set schedule that I had already created. And it's mostly been because I've been avoiding figuring out this part, so much so that I forgot what my problem was. And now I'm remembering as I finish reading everything that, oh yeah, this is my fuck up. So I'm gonna go figure that out, and then hopefully this will be the start of a regular writing routine, because I really want to do like a don't break the chain, except for some weekends where I write something every single day, and eventually that'll come like writing a minimum of 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 words a day, depending on the day. So just something every day, because that's when I was doing the most actual writing work, and I want to get back to that. So that's the goal. But let me figure this out. It's April 2nd, and it has been a couple days of whirlwind developments, shall I say. So let's talk about book stuff first, I guess. My proofreader, the amazing Elle Lavendel, got back to me way sooner than I thought. She wasn't supposed to get back with my Berserker Runaway Bride whip until like May 1st at the latest, but she's incredible, and she said if she could get it back to me earlier she would, and she did. And so I need to pay rent and her and obviously like we also had to pay to fix the car, and I'm unemployed, so like tight. But now at the very least I can really start sending out stuff early for ARC reads, and I can actually like set a release day because I've been sharing about this book for a while and I just don't have a release day, because I was like, okay, on the off chance she gets back to me earlier, I could release it sooner. But also I've been telling ARC readers they have until June to do their reviews, so because I thought the earliest I could do is June. However, now I'm starting to think June is a bad idea. The reason for that being that, one, I am 1,000% before my baby is due releasing a book. That's another book. because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know, you know, anything at this point, right? Like I don't know how long it's gonna take me to recover. I don't know how long the process is gonna be for feeling human enough to show up on social media again, but I don't want that to stop me from pursuing my dreams, right? Problem being, is other development is that the baby might be here even sooner than we thought, because when we moved here, we just had paperwork issue, and it was nothing that we were doing. It was actively like just the system itself, or like either it was a computer messed up, or it was someone lost a piece of paper and it wasn't us, it was like an admin person. Like we've just had so many things that have just made paperwork things take forever. So I am over here barely now getting my health insurance. And so barely last month, I finally got my health insurance set up and barely could actually go to the doctors. And so before that, we were getting ultrasounds from like a boutique in the area that is not a doctor's office, that does not have the same type of capabilities. So my first actual ultrasound with an actual doctor was yesterday. And even though it's April Fool's, she's not joking. We are a whole 2 weeks further along than we thought we were, which I thought we were further along than what the boutique was saying, and turns out yes we are. So we went from barely 25 weeks to 27. And if you've never been pregnant or known anyone, that might not seem like too big of a deal, but that literally moves up baby's due date from July 12th to July 3rd, which basically means baby could come in June and not be 40 weeks, like, you know what I mean? I don't want to release in June because that might be the same month that the baby comes. It's also my husband's birthday. It's also like, honestly, when things are gonna just get a little hotter, I get a little more lethargic, and if I'm gonna be a fully 9 months pregnant by that point, I don't really feel like releasing a book and then immediately going ghost. I would rather have it being like a month in between. So we might do this book May, June, or early June. I'm still trying to figure it out. I have not set a specific date yet, I think because I'm just like a fear of commitment when it comes to book releases. But then again, I did the same thing with Between the Shadows of the Dawn, and that's why the release date was so close to when I announced the book, because I knew I was going to release it, but I was like, I don't know 100% when, or if it's going to be done in time, or when the proofreader is going to get back to me, all of that stuff. So there's that. My proofreader is also my formatter, so I just gave her and spent most of my day today giving her all of the material needed for actually formatting the book. So this is the title page information, the copyright information, the like my about kind of information. It's all of that. So Sheena has it, and I paid for formatting as well. And now I'm gonna have to wait and see how long it takes for the actual formatting to occur. Elle's really fast though, and Elle is really fast with corrections that need to be made and everything like that. And because we already worked together on the first book, because they formatted Between the Shadows of the Dawn, they know how I like it, they know how I want it to match. With that in mind, Elle does not actually offer formatting as part of normal services. The formatting is now kind of like in a bucket where they do other services that are all outside of my price range now. So unfortunately, I probably won't be able to use Elle again in the future, so it means my books will not match. So for that reason, any others I may actually do after this release, after I'm like fully back from my maternity leave, I may actually invest in Atticus and use that for formatting my books going forward. And there might be second/third editions of these books, literally just because I want them all to look cohesive. And if I can't just use the same formatter, and unfortunately Elle uses Vellum, which is a Mac, and I don't have any Mac products, so that's kind of like my difficult spot to be in. And it also just, it adds up pretty quick. I can get Atticus for like 150, but most formatters are charging a minimum of $50. So after you format 3 books, it kind of would have paid for itself. And I'm obviously already on book 2. So I am still figuring all of that out. I still have to, like, the Atticus has a learning curve of some sort, I'm sure. I tried to use InDesign for formatting originally, and I just couldn't make it work. I heard that's like what, you know, traditional publishers use. Learning curve on that is steep, and I'm an Adobe person. I, you know, used it a lot, but not that program, and that program hates me. So there's that. So I will have a book out soon. It's called To Become the Berserker's Runaway Bride. I know it's a mouthful, but all of them in this series have like to be or to become, or, you know, something like that. And so it matches the rest of the book titles that I am working on in this spin-off series. And the spin-off series is supposed to be sort of more of my fun book series that is not as serious, and is that a little bit more fun and easier and quicker to pump out. I would love to get the other book out later this year that is the next book in that series, or potentially book 2 of the Divided God Saga, the main series, out. But it's already April and I'm still struggling to write. The Shield Maiden one, which is my Shield Maiden whip, the one I've been struggling with this entire vlog and have been struggling with since I first put it down a couple months ago, it's still giving me problems. And I was like, oh, there's a secret and she needs to tell somebody, so I have to add a scene where she tells somebody. And I was like, oh, I'm so stupid, thinking to myself the other day that the obvious person she would tell would be literally the person she was upset at herself for not already telling. And so I'm like, I know exactly what she needs to do now, but this just isn't at the same time feeling like maybe it's supposed to be book 2. I don't know. But like, it has to be now because the teaser for this book is inside of the Berserker one that is coming out. So like this one, I have to make this one work. There's no like pussyfooting around it and like not doing it, you know what I mean? But I am still struggling with it, and yeah, I'm not sure how that's gonna go. But other things is that also, because now, you know, I have access to doctors and hospital stuff, is that I am also anemic. So yay, that is probably most of what my problem has been, with the lack of being able to focus, be creative, have energy. I've been sleeping like way too much, or waking up and then just being tired and like vegging out most of the day. And it's been like that for the past couple weeks, and I thought, oh, maybe I'm just needing time to recover from, you know, my full-time job. I barely got laid off, give myself some grace. No, it's because I'm anemic. And obviously because I have to catch up on all of my first trimester and second trimester blood work and labs and everything, because next Friday, the 10th of April, we'll be in the 3rd trimester. That's how far they left us forward. Yes, I know, and how behind I am. So they're having to take so much blood from me as well, while I'm also already anemic, so like that's not helping me. But I'm grateful the baby's doing well and is very healthy, and they confirmed it is a boy, and all of those things. All of that stuff's going like great, except for the fact that I've been anemic, so I'm now on iron supplements, and I'm hoping that actually makes me a little bit more productive, which today so far it has been. It's got everything to L, same day that they emailed. Yeah, I'm like, there's progress being made, but it's just not writing. It's not necessarily writing, not necessarily YouTube, which are like 2 of my main big focuses. It's mostly just like admin and paperwork and healthcare and baby stuff and threads. Threads randomly, I've been popping off on there. I got like 2,000 followers in the past like week and a half. So I'm now like 3,000 something. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with threads, but apparently if I'm consistent on a platform, it grows. Who would have thought? But that just brings me back to the whole, I need to be consistent on other things, such as writing, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, places I can sell my book. But with all of that in mind, I am kind of feeling very stuck, because I want to be writing in the morning, and I know the thing I need to do is just finish the Shield Maiden whip, because it's shorter. It's supposed to be a simple story, and yet when I write it, it doesn't feel simple. But if I go and I switch back to the sequel to the Divided God Saga and finish that, which is also close to being done, I will not want to leave that world again. And yes, it's the same world, but it's like I will want to go and work with Adelaide and Karsten, because Thora and Ari and her story are giving me problems, and at this point they're annoying me. But then again, like, problem is that those other books just take so much more effort and time. It's just like way more serious and stuff, and they do tend to make me like cry when I'm writing, and I'm already pregnant. Like, I need to not have all of that necessarily like super dramatic big world stories. Like, sometimes you just need simple stuff, and so that's why I'm trying to focus on the Shield Maiden whip, and I am feeling like I am going nowhere with it, and it sucks because I love the idea of it, but just like my execution, I don't know, maybe I'm just not happy with. So I'm just feeling very stuck when it comes to that story. But if I go back and read the sequel to Divided Gods, book 1, and start reading book 2, I know I will just get stuck in that instead, and also I'll be reading and not actually like actively writing. And I'm trying to be in a drafting stage, because drafting is always harder for me than editing is. Editing is always like super easy to me. If it's already created, I can edit it and I can perfect it. But that I would rather save for when I'm tired, closer to when baby is here, or after baby is here, and I can work on that. But can't edit stuff if I haven't written it. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I also just think that this Shield Maiden whip, the way it currently is, it's just gonna take like way more editing than the Berserker one did. The Berserker one just came really easily, and it just needed like mostly things cut and one scene added and some line edits. Like, that's really all it needed. Other than that, it was a pretty straightforward 70k word story that just wasn't really, it didn't give me problems. It was really quick. It was one of the funnest things I've drafted in a while, and that's what I wanted all of these to be, was just short, fun, super spicy, smutty stories to get into. and that's not how Shield Maiden is feeling. And it's probably because it's like the stakes are higher than the other ones, I feel like, maybe. But there's no way to lower it and have it be realistic to the world. So I'm struggling with that a little bit. But what else did we end up doing? Yeah, I'm still organizing those content polls. Those like 75 content polls that I did. We actually had a very productive March, may I say, because I was updating my journal today. Last month, out of my very, very long list of goals, I did not do 8 of them. 15 got done. 8 are in progress. So that's a big win. That's a big win month. And I was still working for most of that. So that's not freaking bad. But obviously the ones that are not done or the ones that are in progress got flipped over to this month. And now this month we have, in addition, all of those extra doctor's appointments. So I had my ultrasound yesterday, the 1st. I have to go do all my labs on Monday because it's Easter weekend and I can't do anything. So I have to do all my labs on the 6th. I have a doctor's appointment on the 9th. I have a midwife appointment on the 10th. I have a vaccine appointment on the 24th. And then, least we forget as well, I still need to get my Canadian passport if hopefully I get the money from unemployment by then to just, you know, give it back to the government, I guess. But I have an appointment for that on the 30th because in a potential vlog upcoming, we might be going to Seattle. And I know for my Canadians and most people with a brain, they're like, don't do it. They're like, traveling the border right now is not a great idea, and I am well aware. However, my husband has left most of his belongings in Seattle from the whole fiasco we had when we got turned around at the border and we were homeless in Seattle for like 2 weeks, and like we can't just leave those things at his sister's house. You know what I mean? He's been cycling through like the same 6 to like 8 t-shirts this entire time and like same pair of pants for the past like 9 months. So he fully needs to go and grab things that are more expensive items, tools, things that they didn't let him bring him in, clothes. He came here with a small suitcase, and that's what he's been basically living out of this entire time, other than like things that we shared that I got to bring, like all the kitchen stuff, things like that, right? So if I wait until after baby's here, then I have to get another person a passport. And they're gonna be little, and I don't really want to do a lot of traveling when they're like that little and stuff, but I don't want to keep my husband from getting his things for so long, and I also don't want him traveling solo. So we're kind of like in a pickle situation. So we're trying to just go into it with a little bit more of a positive attitude and, you know, be vigilant, but also not like to spoil the entire thing. You know, it'll kind of be like maybe a baby moon a little bit, kind of hoping for. We'll see kind of how it goes and whether or not we actually can do it, especially because again, baby is coming earlier, so I will be further along when we actually leave than I thought. And hell, we were supposed to kind of leave April, we were thinking. Originally in our like yearly plans, we were aiming for this month, but because I'm unemployed now, I don't think it's gonna happen. We have to rent a car, you know, we have to do certain things that I just don't think right now we're going to have the money for, so we need to save up a little bit. And then on top of that, I have some cousins who are visiting that I am very, very excited to meet them in person for the first time and just, you know, get to know that side of the family a little bit better and everything. My dad was adopted and he's Canadian, so his family is out here, his biological family and his adopted family. And so there's a couple cousins from his birth family that I'm going to get to meet, and they're gonna actually be the first people from my dad's birth family I'm ever gonna get to meet in person. But they're gonna be here in April, and I don't 100% know what day yet. So I want to leave April as open as feasibly possible, other than doctor's appointments, to be able to meet with them. Just because it's like a once in a lifetime kind of experience, especially to have as your first kind of experience with, you know, birth family kind of stuff. Like if you're not adopted, you don't have someone really close to you who's adopted, like you might not, you know, fully get it. But it's something really special to me that I've wanted to do for a really long time that just hasn't been possible, especially because I found his birth family in the middle of the pandemic and stuff. So I want to honor their time and the fact that they're going to be here and I'm here at the same time. And on top of all that as well, I know they are older, and so they're not going to be here for forever. And I want to spend what time with them that I can. And then I'm able to. They are visiting this month, which I'm very excited for, which I forgot to freaking put on my to-do list, on my monthly to-do list, or goals or whatever. So we've got that going on as well. So there's just like random little life things and exciting things like that coming up in the vlog. So we might do like a Maple Fest vlog, we might do like a Seattle vlog this month. Otherwise, it's pretty exciting, except for the whole terrifying part of, again, being unemployed and not sure when the money is gonna come in. But we're trying to go with the flow, figure it out as we go and things like that. And on top of all that, survive thrive, write books, and now have the knowledge that our baby is going to be here a whole 2 weeks earlier. And that technically I'm about to be in the 3rd trimester probably by the next vlog you guys see from me. And I still don't have a stroller. I'm remembering that because I'm literally getting an ad for a stroller on my computer on the screen right there. With all of that in mind, that is how I'm doing so far. I really do want to try and write something. Actually, I'm writing in this vlog, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I do need to start a new vlog because I need to get videos out for you guys. And yeah, I'm very stuck. I'm feeling very stuck and unmotivated with this book. And I kind of want to return to the main series. So I don't know. I will try one more time to do some writing and make some sort of progress. I think I've only made it in this writing vlog like maybe 400 words. Yeah, it's rough out there. Okay guys, it is April 15th. I took a little bit of break from vlogging because I had set out with this vlog my primary sort of motivation being to get on a regular schedule and regular schedule with writing specifically, and that didn't happen. Basically, I don't remember if I explained to you guys, but I did find out I'm anemic, and then I didn't realize how badly anemic I was until my last midwife appointment, which was around the time that I stopped vlogging because I just wasn't feeling great. And she was like, no, you're like very, very anemic, and basically baby's taking all of your blood. So we need to have you eat more iron-rich foods, take a higher iron supplement. And I tried to take a higher dose of iron and it just made like me really nauseous and I was worried I was gonna throw it up. So I was like, that kind of defeats the whole purpose. So we're going slow and steady with the whole getting me not be anemic thing instead. And with that comes just more tiredness, that coupled with the fact that I was already struggling with the shield main whip. I was already battling this project so hard, and I think I figured out kind of what is wrong with it, which is mostly just like it's like a me thing. It's not even like a story thing. It's like I had so much fun writing the first book in this sort of spin-off series, which was The Runaway Bride. It came to me so easily. It was like, I was writing really consistently with it and it was something easy for me to get into. Unfortunately, because I started this book, Shield Main Whip, right around the time that I was moving and then I got pregnant and then all of those things, I've had to stop and start this book so many times that I've kind of like lost the plot with it and the purpose of it and like the deeper meaning behind the romance. And so I need to reconnect with why I'm writing this story a little bit better. And I think the only way I can do that is by getting further information, like inspiration, not information, getting further inspiration by consuming things that one, I love, and two, that I have written that I enjoy. So those things are making it a little bit harder to fully get into that story. I also, now that it's taking me so long to get into the story, have realized that I don't have that much time, guys, until baby's here. We also discovered that baby is actually 2 weeks further along than we thought. Might even be further along than that. Like a whole month ahead, potentially. We finally got our insurance stuff figured out and fixed. And so now we're catching up on all of those missed appointments and things, and they're like, the baby is so big at this point that like most of our dating stuff is not going to be as accurate as if you had come in your first trimester. So we're kind of confused on when your due date actually is. So currently, as it stands right now, baby could come anytime between start of June to start of July. And we have no clue. So I'm hoping the next time of appointments, they might be able to kind of figure out more. But for right now, I am definitely in the 3rd trimester officially now, and even more so trying to just get my shit together. There's a lot of baby things. So like recently, things I didn't vlog, which is nesting, a lot of appointments. Like if you see here, I've got lights over here now. I've got my bookshelf over here. I got the chair over here. The crib is over there instead. It used to be here. And then I moved like my Kanban board over here, so it's not over the baby's crib. But yeah, so we're catching up with a lot of things. As such, I realized I kind of have to prioritize not finishing that project right now. Main reason being is that there are certain things that I'm just not happy with my debut. Between the Shadows of the Dawn. Here it is. And they're very minor things that most people have not mentioned. They are literally like, some of the things are that I say that a town was founded by someone and I changed it later and I didn't change it in the book. So it's a continuity error that like no one else would see unless they were like 3 books deep in the future. Like just very small things like that. But in going through and finding those mistakes, I also ended up discovering that I just want to do another line edit pass on this. There's just, you know, couple repeated words here and there, things that I know I can make stronger, and you know, it was a rush to get this out before we moved to a different country. And so I have been wanting for a long time to do a second edition of this and to also go wide and to do a hardcover. I also would love to do bonus material in the back of these newer editions to entice people that like, hey, this is definitely the time to go get the book. With all of that in mind, I am flipping back to working on this book for all of those reasons and many more. And so I want to get dove into this properly with a new wide release of this on the anniversary on June 20th. Did I just say my baby could come anytime between start of June and start of July? So baby could come on the day that this releases or before. That is a possibility. So with that in mind, but still wanting this to be a success, use the 1-year anniversary for hype and stuff, I need to get things done in advance that I can schedule out. So that means YouTube videos, that means social media posts, that means, you know, everything to do with my other release, which I think I'm also going to release start of June because I want to get it out before baby boy is here. We're having 2 releases in June. One is a re-release of the first book with some bonus material and going wide, and also just getting the bonus content in the back. And the other one is the Runaway Bride Berserker whip that was easy for me to write and that I'm really, really proud of. It's currently with the formatter right now, and I'm gonna get that back sometime this week, send out ARCs next week, and then move on from there, get pre-orders up, all those things. But because I'm working on this, because I'm getting the Runaway Bride whip out, and then I also want to work on this and get this out hopefully before the anniversary, I just can't work on the Shieldman whip. So writing vlogs I think are going to be more like author life editing vlogs, which are just harder to film because I'm not actively typing. It's more me just staring at the screen, fixing letters or deleting hads or that's, or just small things like that. But I hope you guys will still follow along, even if it's not necessarily fully just writing vlogs, especially because we're gonna have some fun things coming up, like, drumroll please, this vlog. After this, I'm probably gonna do 1 more vlog. I'm gonna try and get back to doing it regularly with you guys, working on this project and see if we can get, at the very least in the next vlog, the line edit done that I wanna do with a bunch of the fixes, followed very quickly by doing an audio listen. Or actually, I'm kind of doing an audio listen right now, but then I want to get the bonus material done. So I went through a bunch of notes that people had given me. I also have notes that I have taken myself of things that I've just found while pulling quotes of things I want to change that I still need to go through. But after all of that, through all of that, I'm also going to do an audio listen to just do some like basic line refresh on the book, just to make some lines like a little bit snappier and stuff and fix a couple continuity errors. So we've got that, and then the bonus material that I'm hoping I can make some good headway with in the next vlog. Vlog after that is we're going to Seattle. It is official. It is start of May when we're going. Daunting. It's daunting. I really don't want to do things with borders right now and traveling, especially because I am quite pregante, however you say the words. Baby brain is real. But that coupled with everything going on in the States, and you know, that being a huge reason why we fucking left, I don't really want to do it that much, but at the same time, I know I have like a fear with Seattle now since we ended up homeless there, and I just want to have a better experience there. And my husband left the majority of his belongings there, so he's been cycling through like the same 6 t-shirts the entire time, but for like the last 9 months. We need to get him his things, and there's a lot of like tools and stuff that he has that he just can't rebuy that we need to go get, and all of those things. And this is like the only time that his sister who lives there, who has all his stuff, is available, is the start of May. So I'm gonna try and heal my relationship with Seattle and border stuff and kind of try to have a good time and turn it into like a little baby moon experience and get through the fear. Do I recommend any other people travel to the States right now? No. I am a specific case scenario where I am still a US citizen, my husband is still a US citizen, and I'm still afraid. So we're going to be doing that in, if not the next vlog, the vlog right after that. So I'm trying to get hyped for it, I'm trying to be excited and not so scared, but it's hard. That's something else we can also expect coming up on top of just line edits for this for this debut. That should have you know, been done. But there's, yeah, even like things with the cover, there's a couple things that I wanted to tweak just with the typography that I did, and just a couple things on the back as well. And then also when we go wide as well, that's some stuff. This also means too that because I'm going back in and changing the Word file, it does mean I have to either pay someone to format it again or learn formatting myself. So that'll be an experience. I don't have vellum. The rest of my books, this one and The Runaway Whip, have been formatted with vellum, and I do want them all to match, but there's gonna probably be a point coming up where this book is updated and it's formatted in Atticus instead, because I don't have Mac products, and then the Berserker Runaway Bride Whip is formatted with vellum. Will I maybe just do this myself in Atticus and pay someone else to do other series in vellum just so that there's some continuity? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure yet. We're figuring it out as we go along. A lot of these reasons too is that I was accepted to my first book event locally in the area, so there's like no excuse I can't go. I'm not in the active process of moving. It's after baby boy's been here for a little bit, and I can't announce what it is quite yet because I haven't made announcements about who got accepted or not. But it'll be my first author event, and I have said a couple times, oh, it's gonna be my first author event, and I've had to cancel every single time. But this is local. It's smaller. I'm gonna make it work because I can't believe I haven't done my first author event yet. And I should have then 2 books to share with people. Either the big bulky book right here you see, that is quite a commitment for some people when they're just finding a new author, or the Berserker Runaway Bride one, which is shorter. It'll be available on KU, I think. KU's had some problems, but I really want to try it out, so we'll see. And that one's just a little bit less of a commitment for people to get into with a brand new author, especially if it's on KU. That's sort of the thought process and what we're going through right now. I am trying to not be anemic. I am trying to put aside the shield whip for now and just focus mostly on this new go wide version of Between the Shadows of the Dawn. And then from there, we go to Seattle and we eventually have a baby. And I want to spend as much time and energy as I have now that I am not working a full-time job to really dedicate to the task of getting stuff scheduled in advance so I am consistent on platforms and I actually show up and do the thing. And I want to do all of that, and I especially want to do it when I have books coming out, and I also want to do it through sort of a maternity leave I'm giving myself, which will definitely be like a couple months where you guys will probably see older content from me or content filmed right now around this time. And then we'll kind of from there go into new content after baby boy is a little bit more settled, I'm a little healed, etc. Because we're gonna make this whole full-time author thing work. To make it work, that means making money, which means selling the books. And I could probably make easier money, honestly, and more consistent money by doing things freelance like website and social media design and different things like that. But as we recently discovered, I'm really burnt out on that from doing it for my day job for the past 4-ish plus years. And I'm not in that headspace right now to want to do that. I want to be a full-time author, not a full-time author because I do something else that funds my lifestyle as an author. I want people to find my books and for them to know me mainly from books and YouTube. Like they found me on Instagram, sure, but like they know me because they love the books that they found through Instagram or TikTok or whatever else. That's the hopes, the dreams, the goals moving forward. And for now, we are going to try and not cringe as I go through and realize quite a few people have fully read this book and there's some mistakes. But there's a mistake in like every book. Even traditionally published books have their mistakes, and some of these are, again, things that no one else would notice or know other than me because they're continuity errors and things like that. So other people don't even think they're mistakes, but I do. That'll be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I'll catch you in the next one. Remember to subscribe because AdSense also helps, you know, make me a little bit of money here and there. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So bye.
Blue dude, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit.